is Saturday, about 1 o'clock, and I just stayed at a rest stop along I-94 in Montana yesterday. It was really quiet, and a big storm was coming, and it hit as soon as I parked, and then it's pretty much been raining off and on since then. It's coming down pretty good now. I'm on my way to Bismarck to meet somebody that's been interacting with me on YouTube channel, Keith, and I reached out to him since I'm going to be in North Dakota, and I'll stop by and see him tomorrow. Tonight I'm only going to go so far, or today, I'm only going to go to the Teddy Roosevelt National Forest, which puts me about, I think, an hour and a half from Bismarck, and just kind of chill out there. I don't think I'm going to be able to see much. It's too cloudy, too much rain, and the drive is actually really pretty. It's got some really nice rock formations, and I just really like this part of the country, but unfortunately you just can't see too far out. But it's just been really low-key. Trying to get to this job in northern North Dakota. It's just been on my mind. I haven't been venturing too far other than to go to the top of Hell Roaring Road. I'm just kind of staying more on pavement and chilling out, just so I don't get myself in trouble before I need to be at my job. So there won't be a whole lot of filming between now and then, I don't think, just because the weather's not going to really let me see a whole lot, but just see how it goes. So that's my view in the distance, and it's finally gotten to the point where, as I mentioned, I can actually see some stuff, and it is really pretty down there. It's kind of hard to make it out on the camera, but the texture of all the hills here is really neat with the colors. So unfortunately, and you might be able to see it on camera when I'm accelerating, I've developed quite a vibration, and I suspected it was a U-joint, but I couldn't move the rear drive shaft at all when I'm hanging on to it, and so I couldn't figure out which U-joint it was, or if maybe it was something internal to the transfer case or the rear axle housing. But I looked down again after driving it earlier today and underneath, and now I can see that the boot on the one U-joint is completely torn apart, and I can see that that U-joint is really bad. I don't know why I couldn't see that earlier, but at least now I know the problem. Luckily, I'm already going to meet Keith here in North Dakota. He said that I could use his place where he parks his vehicle to remove my drive shaft and just probably use a hammer and socket and get this U-joint replaced. So something like this, you know, I think this one's self-inflicted. I actually had it on my list to replace all my U-joints on the rear drive shaft before I left on this trip, but I ran out of time and I got lazy, so I didn't. So this probably could have been prevented had I done that, but live and learn type of thing. There's a whole list of things that I was trying to do before I went on this trip as preventative maintenance that I didn't, but of course that's one of the things that goes bad. Luckily it should be an easy fix. I don't remember the last time these U-joints were replaced. I've got one up top in my box on the roof, so I'll just go ahead and use that one. Nothing ever goes according to plan, so this hour job will probably turn into a 2-hour job. We'll see, but at least I'll be somewhere where if I need a tool, if I need a U-joint because for whatever reason the one I have doesn't work, then at least I know I can go somewhere quick and pick up something else and be back on the road Monday so that I can go to my job and start the training on Tuesdays. If you look at that, you can see how that's torn apart. So I'm guessing that's my U-joint problem. So I'm going to have to remove this. I've already got a leak in the seal back there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Do that when I get home, but for tomorrow I will be taking out that section there. I'll check the U-joint there, of course, and I'm gonna have to look on my paperwork and see which one was replaced when they replaced the U-joint a couple of months ago at a shop. But regardless, that one definitely has to come out. So this area here is kind of Badlands area, North Dakota, but this is what the entire drive has been like for the past, I don't know, least if not longer in spots. But very cool rock formations, colors. And the clouds have finally lit up a little bit where I can start seeing a bit more of this now. Alright, I said I was going to stay on paved roads, but I saw these in the national park, and I want to take these roads until I get outside the national park where I can launch my drone. It is just too nice not to take a drive through this area. It is so cool, but this is going to take me along Route 94. Like I said, I'll follow this till I get outside the park boundaries, launch my drone, and then figure out where I'm going to stay for the night. Well, definitely driving away from all the cool formations, and now we're just basically into rolling hills. Oh well, I'm still going to launch the drone and just take a look around. This has turned into quite the evening. I was actually just thinking about going right to my spot to sleep tonight so that I could get up early and meet with Keith, but I decided to take all these side roads out in the country, and it is just awesome. I mean, being out here in the open fields, the red clay roads, the sun going down, it is just really cool. The skies have opened up, it's blue again, and you got farm equipment in the back there. Anyway, I just launched the drone. There's a huge sunflower field over there, actually a bunch of them. So I launched my drone over there, really pretty pictures. And the first place that I launched my drone was kind of a bust. It got too far out the national park, so the landscape changed and it wasn't really pretty where I first launched it. I think I'll include a little bit of footage of that, but I've had more fun filming my Jeep out here and just filming these other fields. Just beautiful. But I was hoping a train would go by here, so I was going to wait around a few minutes. One went by me when I crossed this track last time, but I didn't have my camera out. And I don't know, it's really quiet and can barely hear the traffic from the highway, so I might stay here a little bit longer and then get back on the highway and go to my spot for the night. Alright, it is Sunday morning, just about 9 o'clock, and I'm heading to Keith's place. Going to take care of my U-joint, talk with him for a while. I've got a hotel set up here in the area, so I'm going to do laundry, take a shower, just pull out some things that I need for the Jeep for the job, like clothing and other things like that, get my heater out. It's just going to get quite chilly up there in the northern part of North Dakota. I've been watching the weather. Sorry about the sun glare, it's hitting right at me. But it's going to be a busy Sunday, but it should be good. Hopefully the U-joint goes as quickly as it can. Things like that usually don't work out very good for me. An hour job will take 3 or 4 hours because something dumb will happen, but we'll see. Yeah, and then tomorrow, whatever I don't accomplish tonight, I need to accomplish tomorrow before I check out of the hotel. And then I think it's got to be at least 3 hours from here to northern North Dakota. So see how that goes, but I've got all day to get there tomorrow. So that's what my plan is today. Not too much else, so hoping for the best. So right ahead of me is Keith. I met him at his place, and we're gonna go grab a cup of coffee before I work on the U-joint. He's got a 96 Cherokee Country Edition that he's got lifted with a Rubicon Express lift. Doing this on the side of the road, across from Keith's place. He has been a huge, huge help. We got that one, that one. Alright, so there's 1 and 2 new U-joints. No more vibrations. I can't believe it lasted as long as it did. The one up here was just totally destroyed. I can't believe I only felt vibrations the past couple of days. But this one here was already flat spotted, and it was just replaced 2 months ago. So we went ahead and replaced that one too. So now, after driving this up to about 50 miles an hour, it feels great. Alright, so it's the afternoon. I didn't film hardly any of the work that we were doing. I was just trying to get it done. And we managed to get both U-joints replaced on the rear drive shaft. Luckily, Keith was able to take me back to the auto store to pick up the right U-joint since they sold me the wrong one. And once we got that sorted out, able to switch everything over right there on the curb. So super happy that he was there, and he helped out a lot more than he should have. But Keith, I really appreciate it. That was awesome of you. Hopefully we're going to be able to meet up for some drinks later on today. So I'm heading to the hotel right now and going to take care of a few things before he and his wife show up. I was going to buy him lunch, but I didn't need to do that, so I'm going to try to buy him some drinks if he'll let me. So Anyway, U-joints are done, drive shaft is back in. Not really any complications. A lot easier to do with 2 sets of hands rather than 1 on a curb. And everything seems to be great now. It drives really smooth, no problems. And this should keep me going until whenever I return, and then make sure to replace my U-joints, all of them, before I get on my next trip, whenever that is. So, but glad it's done. Now the hotel, clean up, change some stuff, and then meet him for some drinks.